It's Friday, y'all. Normally on a Friday, I play that R. Kelly. Thank God it's Friday. You know, big shout out to all Kellys and all the 80s babies that grew up in the 90s that was digging into all the wonderful music genres. I want to be all right. Hey, look, man, check it out, man. Fuck that. Everybody who was tuning in to them songs, goddamn it, you ain't have no choice because mommy, daddy, auntie, and uncle was playing that goddamn music, okay? I'm going to be me. I remember Steve Harvey saying one time in his comedy, King's Comedy, he was like, man, going to heaven is just too much work, too hard, something along them lines. I get what he's saying. But heaven is right here on earth. We just been caught up with a whole bunch of concepts, allegories, indoctrinated. I mean, and when I say we, I'm talking about you know, well, let me scratch my side. I can't really say this don't really apply to everybody, but it applies to a lot of people. And I'm trying to be, well, I'm not trying to be, I am compassionate. It's just that I get fed up, as of course many get fed up with a lot of things that's taking place because of, I guess it's kind of hard to make sense of what's taking place, which some people just went along with the waves of the world or just they rode the wave. I get it. I'm not condemning y'all. But I know once we get rid of or temper that ego and the jealousy and the envy, trust me, y'all, we got to learn how to gauge it. See, we need a proper system. Now, I understand that we got to make money. The elites, I would have to say, which is people who know the ways of the world, and I'm talking about how nature works, and they are supreme mathematicians and scientists. In some way, don't get me wrong here, but in some way, we have to learn, brothers and sisters, not to demonize everything because that's what really brings all the negativity into things. You know what I'm saying? Although I know the complexities of life with the laws of duality, we're trying to balance things out. However, we came a long way as humans. From Homo erectus to Homo sapiens sapiens, X, Y, and Z. But listen, man, I guess, look, I guess if I could put it one way, we're not going to have a utopia here. It can be established, indeed. There are, in fact, there are levels of it. There are degrees of it for those who set up a righteous order, house, community, neighborhood, town, city, state, country. They have what they have. I'm not here to demonize anything. That's not my job. I'm not trying to conspire, and I won't conspire either, nor scandal. And by doing such, so we got like this back. I wonder where does that put me? Because what that does, in fact, is give headaches. It builds frustration, and I think by doing the math, frustration, anger, resentment begets violence. It begets criminality because it gets to a point where it's so much bottled in. Most people don't even know how to get it out, which is quite awkward. Which we have many mediums and ways of venting, and letting out how we feel, even if it's not in the front of a crowd. Certainly on your own, to which everything begins with self. Saying to myself, like, wow. And you know what? And while I'm at it, this is exactly why I give, you know, I give it up. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, man. I give it up to my European family that structured a way of life to which they have been excessively exercising and utilizing their power within their dominion. Now, not only the Euros exercise it, but every governmental house, every governmental body that's within every continent and country, they have it. And you don't reach those positions of power by just getting an A on your report card. Okay, you just don't get that because your scholastic skills are way up here, and you have become a highly esteemed academic. No, but it's accounted for. I hope I'm not losing anybody here. Certainly play it back and use the sermon, of course, and sound right reasoning if you have it. The reason why I say that, you know, is because me learning more and more about who we are as African men and women and the capacity of which we have, to which I've worded many times before, we still continue to lack. And just like a video game we like to play, like a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, or even one of those. Remember the old school game for Sega Genesis, Gauntlet, and those Zelda, those adventure games. Like, where do you think that came from? Like, how did they just conceptualize it and put it on a chip, which came in the form of a cartridge, now a disc, and we play it out? It's like a simulation of life, everything that's here. It's here. So, like the beautiful sun that shines, there's nothing new under the sun. However, sticking to the script, being that we have what we have, how is it that we lack so much? And I would have to say that it's because of some blockages in the brain, mind, body, and soul. There are some blockages, and I think one of the main things that contributes to the blockage is everyone's quite ignorant, okay? But it is ignorance. But everyone is quite ignorant to a degree because everyone don't know everything in the world. But ignorance and illiteracy and another one that's very paramount, I find, is fear. Fear. There was a part of the movie in Django where Leonardo DiCaprio was at the dinner table and they were discussing buying Hildy. They was getting into it. Actually, they was trying to buy a Mandingo, but as y'all know, for those who saw the movie, they was trying to really, get Hildy. So he said something. He pulled out that skull, and he said, to the back of the skull of the Negroes, there are three dimples, which has to deal with civility, X, Y, and Z. Go ahead and look up that clip. And then he said to the dimples, if they was to look at, I think he said if they were to look at the dimples at the back of Albert Einstein's head or something like that, it would be creativity, showing some sort of contrast. However, black people, of course, we're creative. Look what we do in the ghettos that go out onto the tubes and the TVs and the media platforms. We do a dance, they do it around the world. We wear clothes a certain way, they wear it the same way. Emulations of it, renditions, X, Y, and Z, you name it, we claim it. We've done it, we got it. But exploitation is still big. Nevertheless, that part of the movie stood out to me. Because when he said what he said about the Negro skull, and he said that there's a dimple in the back that deals with civility and whatnot, and submission, I believe, and he was like, worship. That's how I took it. And I said, wow. Now, for those that will have, you know, for those people out there that only scratch the surface, or can only think in a two-dimensional or three-dimensional way, they would have took that as a diss and got very offensive to it. Not me. I beg to differ, because y'all must have forgot that we gave birth onto Asians. When I say we, I'm talking about the African diasporic family. And for those who have migrated out the house by whatever means, in which we need to clarify, okay? Because if you move out of your house and you get exiled out of your house right now, or you migrate out of your house for whatever reason, and you go to another country, what is it for? Is it for education? Is it for a nation building? Like you want to extend your nation? You follow me? So when he said that, you know what it made me think about? That's right. We may have those dimples back there for submission and civility. For who and for what? It's just that we got caught up with all this Jesus talk and that Jesus indoctrination. Do you follow me? Go ahead and look that clip up and hear what I'm saying, and let it play. Let it marinate. Because a lot of the slaves got caught up in what? They were inculcated with what? They were treated with what? Fear mongering, fear tactics, which still exist today. The existentiality of it is different now. May have been a little bit watered down or worn out, perhaps, but I beg to differ. I want to put out some feelers out there. But yes, and I think he said the study is phrenology, the study of the skull. Very interesting, in which I've touched on that when I gave the explanation to what coronavirus really meant to me on behalf of the government. Because on the human skull, if you look at it, as I said, it has a line across the skull for man and woman where the crown is supposed to sit, which deals with the Corona Sutra. Look it up yourself. So he said what he said in that movie, and it stuck out to me. The minute I saw it, the first time I saw it, I said, wow, yeah, that sounds dope. And if we were submissive and servile, and it was to please the Creator. Submissive unto the Creator. Without getting involved with the allure of wickedness, pervertedness, to which you can cluster into what? Adultery, fornication, crime, all kinds of things you can web from there, yeah? You dig me? So look, man, I say all of that to say this. We're going to continue to have battles, every one of us, all humans. Why? Because from the very beginning of time, which is why the Quran talks about healing of the herbs and healing with certain foods and vegetables and herbs, and so does the Bible. It's because why? This was happening since the beginning of time, which is why I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I give it up to the writers and the producers of the anime Avatar. They've done a wonderful job, and those writers are of European descent. Look it up yourself. It was here in the beginning of time. When those folks got a hint of it, they know. Like in the Legend of Korra, the Book of Spirits, they went deep into that, y'all. I love what they did. When they were asking her to open the portal and then close the portals, let me pluralize it. There was two portals of good, Rava, and the other one was evil. I forgot that name. Oh Lord. Kind of slips my mind at the time. But yeah, those portals were open since the beginning of time. Yeah. And it's here today. A lot of people get caught up in the allure of sexual wickedness and deviance. Hint, hint. Y'all know where I stand with that. For those who've been following me, and if you haven't, go ahead and take a look at my other videos. Sum it all up. Yep. And now we could what? If we want, which I don't even want to hold y'all too long, we can go into frequencies now. Because when you're at a particular frequency, maybe you are susceptible to those spirits and X, Y, Z. However, it's always a fight. It's always a battle. From the time we open up our eyes in the morning and give our praise and mourn. By the way, as I say that word, there's nothing wrong with mourning. A lot of people, and I got on this tip one time where it was negatively explained to me about, yo, mourning is bad. Why do we say good morning? Mourning is not healthy. We don't want to get up and mourn. No, it's like this, y'all. I accentuate the positive in that sense to say we mourn for those that we lost. Not mourn by groveling and crying and sombering. And no. But you give praise to them. And we go on and look to do our best within the day. I certainly have my battles because there is more that I should be doing and I will be doing as long as God give me breath. There are just some hurdles. Okay? And some things I got to clear up and get past and get through. Yep. But there's nothing wrong with mourning. It don't have to be so heavy out there. It don't got to be, you know, put out in a way where it's dealing with some kind of negativity now. I get off that, man. But yes, if you got a pet and that pet passed, you're not going to mourn. So yeah, we mourn. But we live on and we love. We love too. Yep. So just wanted to bring a quick video out real quick. You know I don't like to hold y'all too long. And always, I got more work to do and so do you. I got more writing to do. I got more expressing to do at my own speed. Nevertheless, I'm looking for questions. I'm looking for comments. I'm looking for whatever concerns out there. But I don't get it like that. So It is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be until things clear up and open up. And for those that may think that me smoking is a terrible thing and a bad thing, I tell you what. Being that everything is of the mind, and so as a man thinketh, so is he, and what will be in the matters of fruition and manifestation. We all, I don't care if you got a PhD, with all respect, do a PhD, an MD, BA, we all got work to do to terraform this earth, and acclamation will surely be a part of it. We are a huge conglomeration of God's love. Yeah. So I hope that this video has reached someone and came as a way of edification and some kind of help. And if it hasn't, well, if you feel like you would like to drop a line, please do so. And perhaps I'll hear from you or see you in the future, as I surely wish the best for you, for me, and that of the world. All right? I'll be on standby. I'm going to continue with the rest of my day and my night. Thank you for your time, but thanks for listening, y'all. Ashe. Peace, love, and light. Have a good one. Accentuate the positive. More life. Peace.